Okay, so you might hear noise in the background. I'm watching a TikToker. So, yeah. So, not reviewed. So, forgive me if you hear noise in the background. So, try to ignore it. I'm trying to make this no more than an hour. I just woke up, so about I needed to hurry up and upload this because my nephew comes over this on the weekends, and it's Christmas break. He's gonna be over here a lot. So I'm trying to get this video out before he arrives today because you can hear noise in the background, and background noise messes me up. And before the dogs start barking. So let's just get into this. Okay, so truest imagination equals the void, the bound dream, the first dream. And yeah, I was supposed to add like color um to this, like so it can separate some parts, but I really didn't. I haven't worked on this video because I worked on it like 2 weeks ago and I just forgot about it. 3, no, a month ago. No, it was actually longer than a month. It doesn't matter. But hold on. I'm sorry. This video got me distracted. Okay, sorry, real quick, I'm back. So now, um, truest imagination. If you go back to my videos where I talked about truest imagination, it's in my spirituality playlist, one of the early videos. I think one of like the first 10. Where I talk about true imagine. I called it true imagination, but yeah, true imagination, truest imagination, which is the void, the bound dream, the first dreamer, the first dream, and they because I'm briefly gonna go over it in this video. If you watch those videos, my video of source and my video of true imagination on my spirituality playlist, or if you just scroll down to the very bottom, you'll find it where I talked about true source, like what source really is and stuff like that. It'll help. So essentially, the void is where we all came from, it's where we all go. Just like the ending scene, excuse me, from a never-ending story, how Bastion told the child empress, well, asked the child empress, where? No, they asked him, it's dark, and then the child empress is like, it's always dark in the beginning, and that seed is the light, right? Um, that's the phallus. That's the light is the phallus, the masculine principle. The womb is the void. So the void, the bound dream, is where everything started. So pure imaginary light. Oh, look at my video where I title it Hecate and Source are twin. My sibling, pure imagination, which y'all call Source or God, pure imagine, which I call them pure imagination, pure imaginary light, pure magical light, etc. Um, I'm looking at TikTok. I listen to TikTok, but oh my god, I'm getting distracted. So let me stop. That's where the void produced Source or Hecate. Both are twins, but they produce a lot of us. But so I gotta make a video about that too. That some beings are born from Source and some beings are not, and that's valid. But yeah. So hold up. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. So the void wanted to experience itself. It's a child, right? So it wanted to experience itself in the purest, truest way. And the way you do that, the way he. Sorry, I'm watching this video. She's saying he. Um, damn it, so now she want to start talking in the video. Okay, y'all. I folded. I had to watch the whole video. It was over with though. It was only like 15 minutes. I caught the last end of it, the live on TikTok. Yeah. So Sorry about that. So like I said, we're a kid from the top to the bottom. This whole universe, omniverse, to the very, very top, which is a void, to the very, very bottom, which is us, is set up. Let me show you. Is set up like this show Recess. Let me see. In this show, um, the people are on the playground and taking the fifth grade. That's funny. I think that's a movie. The kids are on the playground, and it's like kids of different ages. You got the kindergartners, you got the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth graders. I can't. I gotta watch the show again. I don't remember if it goes up to 10th or like 12th, but I know it goes up to eighth grade for sure. And like whichever grade is the highest, like they're the eighth graders. They sit at the very, very top of the food chain. And mind you, they had to go through the experiences to sit up there. So they sit up at the very, very top of the food chain. And we're the kindergartners. And the kindergartners are separate from the entire group because the kindergartners in that show are isolated completely with barbed wire and a high ass fence, an electrical fence, to keep them from coming out and from anybody coming in. Because in the show, you will see, I think it's like in the first two episodes, I think you see it. But later on in the show, period, you see the kindergartners are the most chaotic, the most unhinged, the most crazy out of everybody. They have to be isolated away from everybody because they're fucking crazy and unhinged and they just don't know any better. And that's what it's like for us. Like it's set up like Recess. Like that show. Go watch that show. You'll see the symbolism I'm talking about. But I think it's on YouTube too. You can watch it on YouTube. It's called Recess. Y'all seen it? So the Void, which is everyone's realest, truest, rawest origin. And I want to talk about origin too. I'll make a video talking about origin because somebody whose origin point is the void may not be the same as somebody origin point who is source. Yes, everybody's connected to source. Everybody's connected to the void. But I'm talking about origin point. Your essence slash soul's origin point is different for everybody. Some people origin point is Sakate. Some source. Some the void. And some probably came from the architects, etc. So it just depends. It literally just depends on the being. And each being is really forged differently, to be honest. And not really sitting and talking about this. Yeah, I can see it in my imagination that every like I literally just saw like every being is forged differently. Everybody is literally forged differently. It's just it doesn't make them better. We're all born equally, but we're not forged the same. That's just the bottom line. If we were, we wouldn't have as many colors, now would we? And it's for a reason. It's not bad or good. It's just nature, just natural. Like everybody don't wash their hair the same. Everybody don't bathe the same. Everybody has a different ritual or routine, right? Because you're forged differently. Your life path is different. Your essence is different. Anyways, that's the point. So the void decided to create because they need to experience it. I'm summing it up. Like I said, go back to those videos I mentioned earlier. But it wanted to experience every desire, every love, every feeling, every lust, every anger, addiction. Doesn't matter what it was. It wanted to. It dreamed so much, it became pure imagination. That is the seed that if you ever watch one of my favorite movies of all time, um, A Never Ending Story. At the very end of the movie, they're in the void, and the child empress tells Bashet it's always dark in the beginning, and she gave him a light, a seed light, a light seed, and he had to name the seed, and from that name, it created roots and it planted because names make it more real, more authentic, more physical. So it gave it a meaning. It gave it meaning. So therefore, it can express its purpose. So that's what pure imagination is. That's what that seed represented in that movie was. Um, that's what light is. Pure imaginary light is. Um, so pure imagination. Of course, other beings too came out of that. It wasn't just pure imagination. I know a lot of people don't know that, but a lot of beings was produced in the void, alongside or with, well, alongside, yeah, alongside or with pure imagination. because Akate was born outside of pure imagination, which is what y'all call God. There are void beings born outside of pure imagination, which y'all call God. We are all beings that are connected because at the end of the day, we all absolutely came from the void. But that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm saying that everybody's origin point isn't the void. Now that is different. Everybody, when I say origin point, I'm talking about your story. Everybody origin story isn't the void. Now everybody origin is the void. Everyone's origin is the void. Everyone's beginning is the void, right? But everyone's origin story isn't the void. I hope that makes sense. Let me know if you need me to clarify that more in the comments. Not me saying that, but because it was all the we were all the void at one point. But what I'm saying is, some of us are made from pure imagination, pure imaginary light, source. Some of us came from Hekate. Some of us came from the void itself. Some of us came from beings within the dream. Some of us, some of us came from beings outside the dream, etc. So, and that's what pure imagination is, and it created that because it wanted to feel at its truest. As above, so below, said the hot pocket. Yeah, I have a hot pocket here, but just what we're gonna get there because the hot pocket represents really the outside is the dream, the universe, the cosmos from the very very top to the very very beginning. But what's a hot pocket without its feeling? We are the feeling of the dream. You see, both are equally valuable and important. And you can think of the outside of the hot pocket as the void, the truest dreamer, the first dream, the bound dream, and the inside as pure imagination, right? Truest dream, which is the void on the outside, created birth, pure imagination, which is pure imaginary light on the inside. This is a light matrix. We do live in a light dream, a dream light matrix. Um, Predominantly, that's what it is. So I can see why, like, a lot of people only see source as light because for a lot of people, their origin point is source. Their origin soul story, their origin essence story is source, pure imaginary light. Um, yeah, but I said truest imagination is just as physical as much as it is dreamlike. So I probably should make this video another day because I should because when it comes to these videos, I should have prepped a little bit, and I have to get like into like a mindset because like I don't want to rush, but it actually doesn't seem like it's a lot. Cause I don't like rushing unless like really really have to. That's what it is. I'm thirsty. Hold up. I'm thirsty. My lip chat just a little bit. Mmm. Mmm. Okay, now I do feel better. Let me pause this. So, yeah, I said the truest dream, the truest imagination, the void is just as physical because we all represent them. But then I also said, well, I said it's physical just as much as it is dreamlike. And I said plus food equals lightness, meaning I gotta make a video about this, but with my food journey and my food addiction and how I healed it, and what I got from that. Food. Going back to when I said we live in a dreamlike matrix, a dreamlike dream, a dreamlike cosmos, from the very top to the very bottom, is that the food that you eat right now is dreamlike. It's not physical for real. We pretend it's physical, but it's dreamlike. You are dreamlike. Yes, I know I'm a dark being, and I'm in the process of changing my energetic field, but that doesn't change the fact that what I said still stands. Like we are dreamlike. And even if you're not dreamlike, the food is dreamlike. That is inevitable. That's not going to change. Which means You're not eating anything. To put it simple, you're not really eating anything. It's not for real. So what I'm saying is that doesn't have to affect your energy field or your vibration or frequency because I eat whatever and my vibration slash frequency doesn't change anymore. Now, when I used to eat, when I would like fast, my little fastings, which I need to get back to doing, but when I did do fastings and when I would like try not to eat anything like heavy, I can notice a little bit my density energy change. Um, uh, the one thing that my Galactic Federation family told me was that it doesn't have to. It can, but it doesn't have to. Because this is a dream and you are lucid dreaming and you make it what you make it, it's gonna be whatever you fucking make it. So if it makes your density lower, that's your truth. That's the truth. That's your authentic truth, and that's valid. But if it doesn't make your density lower, then that's your authentic truth, and that's valid as well. We have more control than we realize, especially collectively as a group. It's called cooperative magic. But and then one thing the Galactic Federation was teaching me when I was channeling a lot was I'm getting back into channeling again. I'm so excited for that. Um, I don't think I'm gonna channel tomorrow though. I don't know if I'm gonna channel tonight because I'm starting a whole new ritual. Sorry, this is TMI. I'm starting a whole new ritual, and I'm really getting in my dark devotion. Like I'm getting into my darkness, my dark devotion, my authentic nature, and I realize the importance of like a ritual. I'm gonna make a video about that, but y'all, I did not realize that. Now I know why the ancestors, the ancients, the primordial ones, everyone really urged us to do rituals. And rituals don't look like what you might expect. They could be something simple as you waking up and honoring your true nature for 10 minutes, and that's it. It could be you waking up and choosing to watch SpongeBob because it allows you to be in the moment. Your ritual is specifically catered to you. It doesn't have to be robes and athems and chants. It can if that's authentic to you. But a ritual at the end of the day is supposed to ground you in your divinity and at the same time connect you to your divinity and or divinity itself. You know what I mean? It allows you to be in the present to enjoy the present, and that's divinity. That's ritual. That's birth. That's everything. That is the ending and the beginning. So the ritual is what you make of it that allows you to be grounded within yourself and in tune within yourself and within forces and nature outside of yourself. You know. So yeah, that's what I learned. That's what Galactic Federation was. That's what I've channeled. That's what I've been really sitting with lately, and that's what Galactic Federation helped teach me in, and my demonic family helped teach me in, is that it really is important to have a ritual for you, and that ritual could just be you meditating for 10 minutes. Girl, that it doesn't matter. It's whatever you want, whatever you desire, truly. But yeah, so food doesn't affect my vibration no more, y'all. And I use microwaves sometimes, and my vibration is fine. Same with masturbation too. Porn or sex. Like nothing has to lower your consciousness unless you give it the power to lower your consciousness. Like a lot of people can watch porn without lowering their vibration. Nobody knows how to watch porn, and this is why this is something I'm going to make in the future. I guess it's a side note. I can say this real quick. Yo, next year around Halloween time, I plan on making a video talking about like a community because I want my coven. I want like-minded individuals where we can get along and connect. And this coven is not going to be for everybody. It's only going to attract people who are like-minded and who are absolutely embodied the darkness in the truest sense, in the most honest sense, in the most natural sense, right? So for all my like taboo beings out there and people who are shunned and who embody their darkness or want to keep keep in touch because next year around Halloween time I plan on making a video talking all about that. um having stuff set up, because I'm at the stage now where it's just concepts. I don't have anything physical written down or anything like that. So yeah, sorry. Let me just. Oh, I know the typos. I'm dyslexic, and I'm not going back to fix them. You know what I'm trying to say. If not, I'll let you know what I'm trying to say. This was hell typing this. So please understand that it required an immense amount of energy just getting this. So I ain't got no assistant. I ain't got nobody to proofread to fix it. Oh well, get over it. Anyways, talk about how the bound dream, aka the void, just gets denser to experience its true itself in the realest way possible. Yes. So when we the void, because it wanted to experience, it wanted to see how far it can go to experience its truest, rawest, most authentic self. It became physical. It became us. Same with source. Same with Takate. It wanted to be physical. They wanted to be physical, y'all. To experience themselves in a way where they just couldn't up there. Yes, they're all powerful. Yes, they're all knowing and omni this and omni that. But what's the point of being that if you don't know yourself? If you can't experience yourself, you can be all that. But if you can't experience that, are you really? So they was having a midlife crisis, identity crisis. No, let me stop. But yeah. So that's the purpose of that. Um, because I'm gonna go. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Because I'm gonna talk about the Diamond Authority and how White Diamond represents Source or pure imaginary light source or the void, um, and how Pink Diamond represents us, the physical person, the physical realm. So, because I was gonna say something about that, but I'm gonna wait. It's like when you invert. Oh, that's why I have the pepperoni picture. Okay, it's like, and another example, the way to look at it. It's like when you invert a picture on a PowerPoint, and the smaller it gets equals the more dense, more physical it becomes, aka when the dream decides to focus itself into a very focalized point, aka gets smaller, it becomes so small it flips in reverse and gets bigger going back up because the dream, the void source, because they're so dense and so real and so raw and got to experience themselves in the most densest truest way possible. Now that information, that evolution, that knowledge, that knowing, that understanding goes back up. All this information doesn't just stay stuck at the bottom. Beings on higher realms, under when we understand something, they understand something. When they understand something, we understand something. It reverberates. Literally everything is fucking connected. We are smaller versions of them. So that's why it pings to them, oh shit. So that's why we're physical. Oh, so that's what it means to be physical. This is why it's important for beings to be physical. Because we're just as physical as we are non-physical. And both are valid and share a symbolic story that equals the whole tapestry. So when it gets so small, so small, so small, you see how it just goes back up naturally? When the picture gets so small, it reverts. You see that? And it gets bigger. It gets so small, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and then smaller and smaller. And smaller. It's like the breath of Brahma, where like you breathe. What is it? You inhale. That's what is that? Life? No, you inhale. That's like death. You exhale. That's life. You inhale. You breathe. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And it's a symbiotic relationship. I can't remember, but I know it's like it was something like the breath of Brahma that I started thinking about. It's something like that. Like when you breathe, it's like breathing though. It contracts. That's what I was trying to say. It's like a breath of Brahma. It contracts. It goes in and out, and that's how things create. Um, one denser equals. I said show example. Ho. Denser equals more physical. Denser isn't lesser because imagination. Denser isn't lesser because imagination is just as. Oh, I should have put a period. Denser isn't lesser. It's not lesser because imagination is just as dense as much as it is not dense. And the closer you become, the denser, the more focused, the more focused you become, the more imaginary you are. The denser and more focused you become, the more imaginary you are because the void or source or Hekate, at their densest, they're still Hekate, source, and the void. They're just so dense, it's true, it's real. Now they can see themselves in their honest essence. So that aligns them with being more imaginary because they understand that at the very top of who they are, and now they're at the very bottom of it, and they know who they are. They're able to embody that in the most truest, authentic, realest sense possible. That's why your ancestors, the spirit guides, they always tell us know yourself, know your nature, know your path, know you. That way, you can form the dream however you desire. You can truly become a lucid dreamer. And you can be just as innocent as you are um not innocent, just as you are wise. That's what I'm trying to say. You can be just as innocent, just as you are wise. Equally, both valid. That's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. But source is a potent source is just as potent as much as all of us. So we're just as potent as source is just as potent as us. We're just a very focalized version of the void or source. I said the key is to be both. It's like the diamond authority. True imagination, the void, is white diamond, which you can also call source. And we are pink diamond, which is the one down here. And if you haven't watched the show, Pink Diamond is the one that rebels against the Diamond Authority, White Diamond especially, because she does. First of all, she's being abused, but also she's too human for the Diamond Authority. She wants to be freedom. She wants to be chaotic. She wants to know what it's like to change, what it's like to evolve, what it's like to grow, what it's like to be a bad person, what it's like to be a good person, what it's like to just experience yourself. She represents the experience. True imagination or the void or pure imagination or source or Hekate, they represent stillness. They represent all things and everything at once, all possibilities. But they don't represent the experience of the possibility like Pink Diamond is. Humans, as physical beings, we represent the physical experience. We represent the experience of the dream itself, of source, of true imagination. And White Diamond, or you want to call Source or Akate, they are the parts of us that know, that remember, that are, and we're the parts of them that explore, that has fun, that experience, that understand, like Sophia, the wisdom, that understands itself. You can't have wisdom without experience. That's impossible. So that's what we represent. You know what I mean? You can't have true wisdom without experience. Sorry. Because you can still have wisdom, but you can't have true wisdom without experience. And in the show, White Diamond hated Pink Diamond. She she stripped Pink from her color. She hated her so much. And she was like, I'm pure, I'm white, I'm all colors. She literally in the show, she looks down on White Diamond. But then realizes that Pink is inside of her too. But that's what I don't want to spoil too much. You should watch the show. It's a really good show. One of my favorite shows ever to exist of all time. It's so good. I love it. I'm a diamond. I'm white. I would say I'm white and pink diamond. But anyways, it's like the Diamond Authority. True imagination is white diamond, and we are pink diamond. Still a diamond. Oh, that's what I just said. Sorry. Yellow and blue. Oh, why the board has oh yeah. Sorry, I'm reading this because I told you I should have went over it. But yeah, like I said, the void source, all of it has every color inside of itself, right? We are all inside of them. So it can't separate itself. So what it can do is experience itself. That's what we are. We are the experience of the dream, of the dreamers, so they can understand themselves and experience themselves. We're the experience having the experience. It's crazy. I call truest imagination the void, all potential, no anchor. Imagination is pure dream state, true dream state, true freedom, true pure dream state, pure beginnings, true beginnings, pure authentic, true authentic. That's what the void is. And the physical equals all potentials condensed, crystallized, imagination caught in the act of being real. Let me say that again because I don't know if it really got if it really came through. I didn't say it the way I want to say it. So truest imagination, aka the void, is all potentials, no anchor. Imagination is pure dream state, pure freedom, pure dream, pure beginnings, pure authentic. So it's at itself. So it's true itself. It's at its I can't word it, y'all. It's at its purest, highest, truest, authentic self. And physicality, the physical, which is us, we're all potentials condensed down, condensed like milk, crystallized, imagination, caught in the act of being real, being true. Pure density equals pure rawness, pure realness, pure authentic. Two sides of the same coin, identical twins. Look how I spell coin. I think I did that on purpose though, because I like the way it looks. Imagination at its peak expression is the void equals the physical. What I said was truest imagination at its highest truest imagination at its lowest. It is I'm gonna say it again. Truest imagination, the void, at its highest is the same thing as being physical at its lowest. You understand what I'm saying? They can't be separate. It's the void playing the hardest level, forgetting its imagination, and then remembering and going, oh shit, that's me. Ooh. Being denser means I am truest imagination on all levels because all parts are equally valid. That's why you're able to see so many different people. It's because you're able to see your back. You're able to see what you look like from the side, from upside down, from a different dimension. That's why you're able to see duality. It's because duality is just another way of saying color. You're able to see color because you are color just as much as you are the void of color. So, how it correlates to Steven Universe and Diamond Authority. Pink Diamond and White Diamond. Slight spoiler warning. White diamond equals the void. Holds every color, every or source. Holds well, source radiates every color. The void does hold. Um, but it could be the same thing. Holds every color, every frequency. Y'all saw how I spell color? I heard that's a European way to spell color, so I started spelling it that way. Um, holds every color, every frequency, absolute totality, but in all, but but in being all, she becomes stationary, untouchable above. So what I was saying was because white diamond or the void is every color or source is every color, every frequency, absolute totality. But because they are all being, they are stationary, untouchable above. They can't move. They're bound to their station, y'all. So how does a being that's bound experience itself? By creating beings that can do that. Because they are those beings that they create. At the same time, those beings are they're their own person. So it's like experiencing yourself like an infinite amount of ways that are all true. Like it's crazy. You experience yourself as the void, but also something different from the void. So you're experiencing yourself twice, but in the most potent way possible. So White doesn't see the need for the messiness of the physical because she is already perfection. But that perfection is sterile. White rejects Pink because Pink represented the human, the messy, the raw, the physical form that dared to be separate and real. That's essentially what the void or source is or did, right? Like I said, I correlated with the show because in the show it was drama. White separated herself because she thought she was better. But in this world, in this stream, um, our White Diamond didn't separate because they thought they were better. They separated because they want to experience. But yeah, that's a little correlation. But I said Pink Diamond equals the physical beings, not just part of the void, but the void choosing to individuate. Pink and her, Pink as has her own color, her own quirks, her own hunger for play, exploration, her own expression, her own embodiment. She is White's own imagination refusing to stay abstract. She is White's own imagination refusing to stay abstract. We are the void's, source and Sakate's purest imagination refusing to stay abstract, choosing to fall into matter. Earth, physicality, was her playground. And she said, I'd rather be flawed. This is a quote from her. I'd rather be flawed and alive than perfect and untouchable. I know that's right. And the gag is White holds all colors. Without Pink, she is aka devoid, devoid of all her meaning. Without Pink, without a single color in place, she is not complete. She is not, she is literally the void in the sense of incomplete. She is everything but the willingness to be real. Without Pink, she would be everything but the willingness to be real. Without us physical beings, the the void or source or Akate will be everything but the willingness to be real. And how can you call yourself everything and anything if you can't be real? And we represent that physicality, that realness, right? And I put the void, aka White Diamond, aka the Bound Dream, looks at matter and says, that's too solid, too limited, not me. The physical, aka Pink Diamond, aka the human, looks at the void and says, that's too abstract, too empty, not me. That's what happens when you separate the two and you don't allow them to fully embody. But even then, this is what they're really saying. This is what how it happened, y'all. What I mean by how it happened, I mean like when the void or source or Pakate created, they wanted to feel something. And what's the realest way to feel something? To be physical, to be real, to be raw, to be so to be so true you're undeniable. And that's how you get density. Because you can be the void and light and airy all you want. So you're not experiencing anything without depth, without density, without perception, without perspective. And you truly can't call yourself all or above or pure or true if you can't experience all that. So the physical, aka, oh yeah, I said that. I said, but oh shit, I'm almost done. Ha. So it's not as long as I thought. So I said, but in truth, both are truest imagination at max potency. The void is truest imagination at its highest potency. The physical is truest imagination, aka the void, at its densest potency. Both extremes are extremely important and potent and real and raw. That's why you have so many beings either strictly physical or strictly wanting to go back into source or the void. It's always two extremes, but you're supposed to balance those extremes and be those extremes in one vessel. That's why beings in the physical is horror. That's why, oh, that's why beings in the physical are horrifying and holy at the same time. The void's ultimate art piece. Oh, I said the void's ultimate art piece, ho. Motherfucking art piece, ho. Yes, because we are both the void at our highest and our lowest. That is the ultimate art piece. We are able to experience ourselves as ourselves, with ourselves, at the same time separate from ourselves. How the fuck does that work? That's art. You tell me. You paint the dream in colors. Crazy, isn't it? Both physicality and the void are equal in their sacredness. There are so many beings, star races, mystical, magical races, cosmic races out there that are and would kill to be physical. Like, just beings on higher realms can't taste like we do. They can't experience stuff like we do, y'all. They don't. They can't have sex the same way we do. Yes, they might have it, but it doesn't hit the same. Not saying it's bad or worse. A tool. It's a whole different experience. That's why a lot of beings that come to Earth or the physical realm, they get trapped. And I'm using that word loosely, but they kind of forget who they are. It's easy to forget who you are in a place that, oh shit, you telling me I can feel my desires, my truth, my nature in such a way that I don't want to leave? Oh, sign me up. And you forget. You forget. Because it's insane. Enjoying the dream at both capacities. At both capacities. Oh, enjoying the dream at both capacities. It's scary. It's scary. It is scary to be able to enjoy the dream at its most physical and its most imaginary. Because what? What do you mean I can be both? It's a lot. It's intense. It's very deeply personal. At the same time, it's so abstract and profound and poetic. So when you say I'm not physical or it's all an illusion, you're missing the fucking point. The fucking point. Stop spiritually bypassing yourself and be I didn't mean to say be humble, be human. In the cosmic sense, be human. Because the void is just as much a human as you are. And you're just as much the void as you are human. Or if you want to say Soros or Hagata, it doesn't matter. You're just as much as them as you are not. And they are just as much as you as they are not. It all runs in the same circle. You can't escape it. It's intense and personal, and it's scary and it hurts. And that's the whole fucking point. This went, this went. Oh, ignore that. Oh yeah, I was just saying this is how I learned that dream matter. Is it real? And food doesn't have to affect your density because your dream matter too. Dark or light, chaotic doesn't matter. This made me cry after that first gnosis. I had another that integrated into my bones that food doesn't determine your density. You do. Because the physical is just as a dreamlike as the void. That food and physical any that food and physical anything, whether processed or not, is still the void. It's still dreamlike. It's still dream matter. It's the dream expressed in another form. Food and all things are made of light. Dream light. That includes you, no matter how physical you are. Okay? You can still feel like a fairy boy when you eat a double bacon hamburger and a side of sweet potato fries. Sorry, y'all. Like I said, I just woke up just long ago, and I'm out here I'm chilling in my bed, so my vibe is a little different because I'm very very comfortable. Usually, I'm sitting up in my desk, and you know, I feel like I'm in an office. I'm in my bed, so it's just like if I'm talking and it seems like I'm very nonchalant, it's because I'm very relaxed and I'm very calm in my bed, and I just woke up, and I'm honestly chilling. So I just, but I never, but I hope that you understood what I said though overall, because I was speaking kind of nonchalantly that like I was really going over some of the stuff that I was repeating what I was saying because I like to reiterate it, but I was feeling so nonchalant. I was like, okay, hold on, let me say it again because let me make sure they got it because I'm saying it such a chill way. I need for it to hit. But yeah, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. But yeah, just take that and sit with that and process that. The void is us, or source is us, or Hakata is us being able to experience its truest self. Just while at the same time being its truest self. It's crazy. It's like playing a video game. We got the person playing the game and the person inside the game. Um, so yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed that. Bye ho.